right around the corner in Paris because it is starting to get cold. My favourite season is autumn, and I also adore winter, and I love the cold, but I weirdly just don't tolerate it that well. Like, I'm the kind of person who is constantly freezing. I wear jumpers all year round, basically. I am ecstatic. Anyway, I digress. Welcome to my little London travel diary. So I wanted to talk a bit about what you're about to see, because my family and I went to London from the 5th of September to the 8th of September, and we went there for one specific reason, but also just have a little bit of a holiday as well to finish off the summer, which was not a very summery destination, of course, because it's England and it's September, so it was really wonderful. At least I appreciated it so much, and I was able to wear my coat again and my scarf and everything, so I was very happy. So we went there for a very specific reason, which was the premiere in London of my dad's film. So my dad is a documentary filmmaker, and he makes the most beautiful documentaries, and I'm not just saying this because I'm his daughter, I'm genuinely saying this because I am able to be objective and see through the fact that he's my dad, but also just to see his art for what it is, and it is stunning. He is a one-man team. The entire filming process he's on his own, except for a couple times where he has a sound engineer, but that's not all the time. He has this ability of becoming a wallflower and just becoming invisible and very observant, and he has, yeah, just a very intimate and beautiful way of filming. It makes it so that his documentaries have this capacity to blur the line between fiction and reality. He made a film on a principal ballet dancer at the Royal Ballet, Stephen McRae, who had a terrible injury a couple years ago on stage, fell on stage during a performance, and he filmed his entire journey to getting back on stage. So it's not only a story about a ballet dancer, and also explores a very taboo subject in the world of ballet, which is the injury, but it also is an incredibly humane story about a human being who falls down and has to get back up and keep going, which is incredibly inspiring. And you don't have to be a ballet dancer to relate to it. I mean, I was a ballerina for about 11 years of my life, and I had to quit in a very difficult way, and it was an enormous part of my life, a very important part of my life for so many years, but so I was able to relate to it on that level, but I was especially able to relate to it as a human being who has gone through a mound of traumatic things, and I'm still here today. So this was the big premiere on the 5th in the evening, with the BBC, because the film will be on the BBC on prime time in February of next year, if I'm not mistaken, or January, which is just incredible. The film in France is called A Resilient Man, and for the BBC it's called Dancing Back to the Light, and it was just the most incredible experience. I had already seen the film, of course. This was my third time watching it, because I don't watch it too often, because every time I see it I sob during the entire film. So there was that, and my entire family from England came to the premiere, which was so heartwarming, because they all live in Devon or Worcester. And then there was a Q&A with Susie Klein, who is head of the arts department at BBC, and she was incredible. She asked amazing questions. There was a second premiere which was a bit less important but still very cool, which was at the French Institute in London. I fell in love with the city in January when I went there for pretty much, not really my first time, but because the first time I went I was very, very small. I was just really rediscovering the city, and I really just fell in love with it, and for some reason it feels incredibly familiar to me. And I talked about it with my grandma this morning on the phone, and she She firmly believes in past lives, so do I, and I told her this, and I told her the tube to me just feels very easy to go around. I feel like I recognize certain part of the city, and I feel like I can really just go around it without much trouble, or I understand the way it works, and I just feel like I just feel like it's calling my name. It definitely feels very bittersweet when I'm there. In England in general, because I just feel like heart wrench when I have to get home, and I just feel like my heart has been ripped out of my rib cage, so it's very difficult when I get home. But it gives me the most wonderful moments of my life, and I feel happiest when I'm in England. And in London I just feel like I'm buzzing with the city, and I just feel like I belong there. So definitely food for thought. I will leave you to it, and I hope you enjoy. Trois abeilles.
I've worn out the world. I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before, but I'm reflecting light. I rode the pain down, got off and looked up, looked into your eyes, the lost open windows all around my dark heart lit up the skies. Now that I've worn out I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before, but I'm reflecting light. Give up the ground under your feet, hold on to nothing for good, turn and run at the mean dogs chasing you, stand alone and misunderstood. Now that I've worn out the world, I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before, but I'm reflecting light.